Hey guys, welcome back to Byte, the channel where I explore the world of self-help books and share my takeaways with you. For those who are new here, I'm a self-help enthusiast. I believe that personal growth is a lifelong journey and books are one of the best tools to help us navigate it. Today's video is all about 7 pieces of advice for teenagers from different self-help books. As someone who struggled with self-confidence and anxiety as a teenager, I wish I had access to these books back then. So, if you are a teenager looking for some guidance or if you know someone who could benefit from this video, be sure to stick around. Title: 7 Life-Changing Pieces of Advice for Teenagers from Top Self-Help Books. Section 1: The Power of Self-Love, The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden. The first piece of advice comes from the book The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden. This book teaches us that self-love and self-acceptance are the foundations of a healthy self-esteem. As teenagers, we often compare ourselves to others and strive for external validation, but this can lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. The key is to focus on our strengths and accept our weaknesses as part of our journey towards personal growth. Section 2: Overcoming Fear and Anxiety, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. The second piece of advice comes from the book Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. This book teaches us that fear is a natural part of life, but we have the power to choose how we respond to it. As teenagers, we often face new challenges and uncertainties, which can trigger feelings of anxiety and fear. The key is to acknowledge these feelings, but not let them hold us back from pursuing our goals and dreams. Section 3: Developing Resilience and Grit, Grit by Angela Duckworth. The third piece of advice comes from the book Grit by Angela Duckworth. This book teaches us that success is not just about talent or IQ, but about perseverance and resilience. As teenagers, we often face setbacks and failures, which can be discouraging. The key is to develop a growth mindset and focus on the process rather than the outcome. By embracing challenges and learning from our mistakes, we can develop grit and achieve our goals. Section 4: Finding Your Passion and Purpose, The Element by Ken Robinson. The fourth piece of advice comes from the book The Element by Ken Robinson. This book teaches us that finding our passion and purpose is essential for a fulfilling life. As teenagers, we often feel pressure to conform to societal expectations and choose a career path that is deemed practical or safe. The key is to explore our interests and talents, and follow our intuition towards a path that aligns with our true selves. Section 5: Cultivating Positive Relationships. The fifth piece of advice comes from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This book teaches us that cultivating positive relationships is essential for success in all areas of life. As teenagers, we often focus on social status and popularity, but this can lead to shallow relationships and a lack of meaningful connections. The key is to focus on being a good listener, showing genuine interest in others, and treating people with kindness and respect. Section 6, Embracing Mindfulness and Self-Awareness, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. The sixth piece of advice comes from the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This book teaches us that true happiness and inner peace can only be found in the present moment. As teenagers, we often get caught up in the past or worry about the future, which can lead to stress and anxiety. The key is to practice mindfulness and self-awareness by focusing on our breath and our senses, and letting go of negative thoughts and emotions. Section 7, Prioritizing Self-Care and Well-Being, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. The seventh and final piece of advice comes from the book. This book teaches us that our physical and mental health are interconnected, and that trauma and stress can have long-term effects on our well-being. As teenagers, we often neglect our self-care and prioritize external achievements over our own health. The key is to prioritize self-care and well-being by taking care of our bodies, our minds, and our emotions. Conclusion. So, there you have it, 7 life-changing pieces of advice for teenagers from top self-help books. Remember, personal growth is a journey and there's no one-size-fits-all approach. The key is to be open-minded, curious, and willing to learn. If you have any other tips or experiences to share, please leave them in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Byte for more videos on self-help and personal growth. Thanks for watching.